Ignition sequence starts. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and my wife made me do yard work this morning. I think I laid between maybe around 100 squares of sod today, and I have one of those electric chainsaws, and I used that and cut some bushes down, and I trimmed some hedges. And then we got a good rain, and so the rain got the grass, the sod, and wet it good. So I guess I've had a pretty successful day so far. Let's see if we can be successful with this video. Hey, when you see a tweet like this, it's my kind of Saturday video. XRP at $100 by the end of 2021. If this is a guy from that was Crypto Bull, but it's a guy from TradingView that he's pointing to that had put this chart. He was doing some charting. I wanted to read this to you. XRP is currently on wave 3 of its lifetime. We will see enormous growth in this bull run, bigger than last bull cycle, reaching $100 by December 2021 roughly. I like your confidence. Then XRP will be in a bear market for 3 years, consolidating where it will get ready for another wave 5 bull run to end around 2026. I expect we can see $5,000 per token by the end of 2026. I don't think that there's going to be hardly anybody out there that still owns their XRP. If we get anywhere close to that, I don't think there's going to be very many people there. I plan on holding most of my XRP. Well, I say that wrong. That's the wrong way to say it. I plan on lending my XRP out to the world long term. So that makes me a long-term holder. That's the way I see my future here. So if we do see those kind of numbers, I will be around to see it. Okay, so especially with regulatory clarity, this will increase XRP adoption with banks and increase money flow. XRP already operates 90% of its volume outside the USA. Lawsuit does not mean much, but it can bring significant clarity to crypto, which will allow banks to freely use XRP every single day. All right, and the official cool guy of the Digital Asset Investor channel, it looks like he could be on vacation or something, or maybe that he just lives near water. Here we go.
All right, you know we got to hit that Ripple SEC.
You know we got to hit that Ripple SEC. I mean, I couldn't have picked a better cool guy than this guy for this channel.
It's called for a spin move because the Ripple is dancing around the SEC. News broke that the SEC deleted files. What? You can't be deleting files. That's a crime. Then Chuck Grassley drops an investigation into Hinman and Clayton over conflicts of interest in crypto while they held office. The show is starting. Grab the popcorn. Show me my opponent. It's just beginning, baby. Going as planned. When the SEC brought that lawsuit, you know Bat bought the dip.
We need to send, what we need to do is send the official cool guy to represent the XRP community. I could see him walking in Gary Gensler's office and literally throwing his feet up on Gary's desk and saying, "Come on, Gary, let's work this out, man." I can totally hear that. He's the only guy that would be cool enough to do it. And Gary would probably think it was funny. Okay, Tom Emmer, who is one of the good guys in this whole crypto game in Congress, listen to what he had to say.
We know Dogecoin is a fork of Lucky Coin, right? Which is a form of Litecoin, which is a form of Bitcoin. You might hold Bitcoin, and you don't even know the next day when you got up that you now have Litecoin, right? So the idea is you can't have nonsensical or non-applicable tax rules and regulations. And this bill would protect taxpayers from being penalized until the IRS actually issues updated guidance on how to report for cryptocurrency. It would create a safe harbor and it would specify that the receipt of forked virtual currency does not constitute a taxable event. And that's what's incredibly important, because right now the IRS requires taxpayers to file taxes on the receipt of forked virtual currency. And again,
Right.
as I said at the outset, many taxpayers receive forks unknowingly and, quite frankly, often unwillingly. The hope is that the IRS will change its guidance to require Americans to pay taxes on their forked virtual currency at the moment of sale, not at the moment of receipt, which I think is a lot more fair and just.
Man, it makes me think that maybe he is going to get some of that flare drop. When I'm listening to that, I'm thinking, well, Tom Emmer must be getting some of the flare drop, because everything he just said is what I've been talking about the taxation concerns I had and some people had about that. And so I hope he is successful in this, because as I've said 1,000 times, it's not anything bad about the people at Flare or anything like that. When I have brought up the ordinary income tax issue on Flare, it's not. I'm not saying anything bad about them. It wouldn't matter if it was them doing an airdrop or anybody else. But he's addressing that. That's exactly what he's talking about. You have to wonder if Tom Emmer is getting some Flare. Now, this is interesting right here, and this is a teachable moment for some of you out there, and it doesn't mean that you need to. It does not. I repeat, does not mean that you all need to go out and do what James Rule did, but because everybody's financial situation is different, and I would never tell everybody or even tell you to do anything as far as telling you to invest. I'll tell you what I do, what I think is smart. But anyway. Here's what James Rule did. He said he became an accredited investor by doing what others were not willing to do. They laughed at me. I did not listen. I put my 401ks and everything I own in crypto. The red arrow was my net worth. So he went, dumped his 401k, I guess, into iTrustCapital and put it in crypto. And when he did it, he was at 264,493. And he's showing that as of now, this is where he is, and he's accredited and can prove it. Now, that is cool. And again, I'm not telling, the lesson here is not that this is applicable and you should all go out and do what James Rule did. That James Rule is apparently very risk tolerant, but there is something that I didn't even do this, folks. I didn't even do what James Rule did here. And I wouldn't do it because my wife would kill me if I did do it. And if it didn't go my way, it would be divorce city, like a lot of you out there. But what he did do illustrates something else that I do want everybody that's listening to my voice. I've learned a lot about making money, losing money, making an income, losing an income. All of the ups and downs of financial life. I've been through all of them, okay? There's not anything that you can experience that I have not experienced, okay? But here's what I've learned. If you want to get wealthy, you might do it earning an income, but the majority of people that are going to get wealthy are going to do it by taking investment risks. Now, that doesn't mean you have to risk everything you have the way James Rule did here. In my case, I risked a large percentage of what I had betting on crypto because I was so confident that this was what I thought it was. But my point is that for you young people, especially out there, the road to wealth is investing and taking risks. Risks are what makes it interesting to get out of bed in the morning. If to sit on the sidelines and just do nothing. But I know plenty of people who have spent their entire life taking no risks and being envious and jealous and trying to put rain on the parades of the people that are willing to take risks. So myself, as I've taken risks, I know tons of people who have made fun, laughed at, told people I was stupid, this, that, and all along the way. And the only reason they did it is because they weren't comfortable taking risks, because risks are what get the high returns. Higher the risk, higher the reward. You can also lose. I've lost and I've won. But this crypto thing, this was the big one. And this is the one where I risked and I won. And we're all winning. And I think, in my opinion, we're about to win really, really big. I've been here for 8 years risking. I've had that sick, that sick stomach you have when the market just crashes, and boy, have we seen some. I've been here for 8 years riding that roller coaster. I'm tired. But when I say I'm tired, that doesn't mean I quit, because I don't. I'm crossing this finish line. I hope a lot of you will be with me, but I'm going to see this thing through. Now, I'll probably have a lot more fun as I watch the finale, because I took risks a long time ago, but I'll be here to see this thing through. And I think these horses are about to cross the finish line personally. I think that we're a lot closer than many think. But I raise my glass to James Rule, because James Rule is what making money is all about. I'm not saying that you all go out there and take the kind of risks that James Rule took. But what I am saying is take some risk in your life, because if you don't, those are the kind of things that you will regret, and you should regret, because taking risk, we're only going to live once. Take risks. I can't remember how he said it, but I remember Greg Kidd talking about this. But this guy is the risk taker of risk takers. But the idea is to make them as calculated a risk as you can make them. And to me, Ripple and XRP was the most calculated risk in crypto, in a risky thing, way back in 2013. That's where I placed my bet. I said, of everything I see on this coin market cap, and I went one by one, Ripple and XRP, this thing, and I don't even think they called it I think they just called it Ripples back then. But when I looked through the websites, and I was sitting there, I was like, this is the only one that looks like it has this group of people that are working on this. At the time, the term use case wasn't even, when it was the only, of all these coins, it was the only thing that made any sense as an adult. And I've been here ever since. That was a calculated risk, but it was a lot riskier back then. Just for those of you that don't know, back then, we didn't know if today was the day that they were going to say, oh, well, it's illegal for you to own this and kick my door in. That's what we thought back then. We didn't know. That's how risky it was back then. But anyway, so James Rule deserved every bit of the dedication that I just gave him. And by pure coincidence, the guy that did this is his buddy. And I'm going to cover this now. This is Jimmy Valley. Let me show you who Jimmy Valley is. Okay, he is managing director at this Val Hill Capital. Apparently he's a buddy he's one of James Rule's buddies, but he's also an XRP enthusiast. He's a law graduate from Texas Tech, which I've heard's got a good baseball school, and they're a good football school. But anyway, this is his company. If you want to check out his company, I wanted to at least give him a plug since I was going to read his letter. ValHillCapital.com. That's VALHIL capital.com. Capital with an A. So here's his letter. Now this, very rarely do I open up my Twitter and see something that is just really, really intriguing. Well, this was really, really intriguing. Watch this. XRP community. Regarding open letter to the XRP community. My fellow members of the XRP community, at Val Hill Capital LLC, we have determined that we will lay down our weapons with respect to the SEC and via Ripple lawsuit. Our assessment representing the conclusion of our extensive research and evaluation is that neither Chairman Gary Gensler nor former Chairman Jay Clayton has ever had the authority to initiate, control, or settle this matter, because each of them are simply following their orders given to them by the authority to which they report. And who is that? The Federal Reserve Bank of the United States. If you hold XRP, you are presently sitting at a large conference table, invisible to your eyes, negotiating the sale of the XRP to which you hold legal title, the sale or lending to, Your counterparty, i.e. your buyer, is not another retail investor at an exchange yelling $5, $10, $100 at you. Until you consent to legally transfer title to your XRP, your buyer is the most powerful institution in the history of the world. This institution, your buyer, has unimaginable leverage to use against you in this current negotiation. Politicians, federal, state, local agencies, bioweapons, but I don't know what that means, business closures, exchange shutdowns, lockdowns, riots, wars, destabilization of countries, money printers, and most notably fear. Please now let all fear, distraction, and concern for what other people think melt away. Be still, be quiet, see the truth. See your buyer sitting across the table. See your buyer reaching out their hand, saying, let's do a deal, name your price. On behalf of Valhill Capital LLC and myself personally, I want to express a sincere thank you to all our leaders in the XRP community. Without them, we could never have peered through the fog of World War III and met our buyer face to face. There are too many heroes to mention, but the following have played an important role at Valhill Capital. He actually named me. There's Brad Combs, there's James Rule, the Bearable Bull, BC Backer, Attorney Jeremy, John Deaton, XRP Chiz, Hester Pierce, Chris Giancarlo, Tom Emmer, Senator Loomis, Brad Garlinghouse, Joel Katz, and there's so many more that are not on this list that are very deserving of it. That's the problem with naming people. There's so many that will get their feelings hurt that have been a big part of it, and there's a lot of them out there. We are confident that each of them will perform well in their personal negotiation with our buyer. May peace of God, which surpasses all understanding, bless each of you and guard your heart and mind through Christ Jesus. Amen. Man, that is one hell of a letter right there. Now, that letter, let me go back. He mentioned that we're all sitting, imagine you're sitting at a conference table. Well, I imagine that conference table, because I've used this reference before on this channel, I imagine that conference table being at the clubhouse at Jekyll Island, Georgia, and here's why. I've told you the story of the formation of the Federal Reserve, where all of the wealthiest people in the world, the Rockefellers, the J.P. Morgan, all of their people were sent to, it was like 5 representatives of all these wealthy families were sent to Jekyll Island. They sat in a room. There's a plaque on the wall at the clubhouse in Jekyll Island, Georgia, that's there to this day. It's there to this day. I haven't been there, but I'm going to go there. In fact, let me, I have talked, I won't say with who, but I've talked with other influencers many times about when this is all over, what we want to do. And there's an idea that's floating around, this idea of sitting at a conference table with a glass of red wine and recapping everything that just happened. And I think that the most appropriate place for something like that to go down would be in the clubhouse at Jekyll Island. Because what this letter really represents to me is this is the next formation of whatever you want to call it, the next Federal Reserve of the next 100 years. And that's what this has been about all along. And I've talked about that on this channel many a time. Now this goes, folks, in the all the world's a stage, not file, but vault, because this right here, look, if everything that we're watching is a movie, if everything that we've been watching is a movie, then he would be correct about it, what he says here, that neither Chairman Gensler nor Jay Clayton has ever had the authority to initiate, control, or settle this matter because they're simply following their orders. Now that goes in the all the world's a stage file. But here's the deal, and he's saying he's laying down his arms. Now, I'm not going to lay down my arms yet. If by laying down your arms he means not putting out my videos about Ethereum and how this doesn't make any sense, because none of it makes sense. Now, there's a part of me that believes all the world is a stage, maybe a bigger part than the other. But until I have no way of proving that. Until there's a way of proving that, then I have to proceed that this is more of a corruption type situation. So that's how we'll proceed on this channel. But I do give major kudos to Jimmy Valley, because guess what? I think that some people who have been here for a while, some people get it. Some people see and others do not see. I've seen for a long time, I think, but there's just some places I don't go. I'll put it that way. Now, I'm going to finish this video up. I wanted to show you, because every once in a while I want to check in. I mentioned how James Rule had done the iTrustCapital and what he had done. Well, iTrustCapital is adding, now that they're using Coinbase custody, they are adding new digital assets like often. They just added Cosmos, added Algorand and Engine and Basic Attention Token. They're about to add Decentraland and Tezos. Okay, so this thing is really becoming a powerhouse. I believe, as you see up at the top here, iTrustCapital is the world's largest crypto IRA platform with over $2 billion in transactions, and I believe almost $2 billion in assets. I believe this right here, I believe you are looking at what is going to be one of the largest, not companies in crypto, not asset managers in crypto. I believe you're looking at what is going to be one of the largest asset company by assets under management in the world, and maybe in the history of the world, in very short order, because these guys started, when I started talking about them, they kind of started and really got going as an XRP centric platform. And I know, because I know a lot of people that are listening to my voice have gone there, and I myself have a couple of accounts, thinking about opening a third. I know a lot of people that have accounts, and these guys have a really bright future. And the reason they have a bright future is because it's a no-brainer. This is the no-brainer of no-brainers as far as opening these tax-deferred or tax-free accounts to buy crypto. The links to if you want to open an account, I've got a free 1-month coupon in my description, and you guys can, the links are there. I even have an interview with Blake Skadron, the COO, so go check it out. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and tell your friends and family. Don't mess around on iTrustCapital. No, I take that back. Tell your friends and family this. Tell your friends and family. Let me see. What was his wording there? Tell your friends and family to imagine yourself sitting at a large conference table in Jekyll Island, Georgia, and you're divvying up. You're divvying up your percentage share of the new Federal Reserve. Tell your friends and family that.